Hey, before I start this video, I want to start off by saying thank you all for all of the support, whether it's just liking the videos, leaving comments, sending me tips to thequartering@gmail.com. It's been an amazing ride. I want to also let you know that I have started a Subscribe Star for two reasons. One, to help offset purchasing these games for coverage. I talked about a New Year's resolution of making sure I go out and buy all these games. If I'm going to produce videos about them, I should do that. But as a way to support the channel for those that might want to, you are absolutely not required to. I'm going to be able to eat this week if you don't, but it's a way to get into some custom Discord classes and some backer-only Q&As and some games together and things like that. If you want to support independent games journalism, then this is an excellent way to do it. Subscribestar is a free speech alternative to Patreon, whom, if you remember, banned me for outing pedos in the Magic the Gathering judge community. And so I thought, why not give Subscribestar some attention and throw my profile up there? Certainly your support not required, but absolutely appreciated. 100% of the funds that go in here go back into the channel. So whatever goes in goes towards purchasing games, getting better equipment, maybe getting some editing help, whatever we can do with it, that's what we're going to do. But it's all going back into the channel. Let's get into the video. What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and lots to report on today, but I think this will be the last video of the day, because I have my podcast with Count Dankula and Bearing tonight at 7 Central over on the Incredible Salt Mine. Love to see you there. But we've got news of a brand new Star Wars game. We've got some bad news that EA has been backed again by Disney. And then we've got news of a new Titanfall game. Now, I originally wanted to cover some spicy information going on with Bungie. I'm going to try to get to that for maybe a late night or an early morning release. But I do want to thank you all for remembering to smash gently. Don't hug it, because you know what goes on there. But please remember to smash that like button lovingly below the video. It helps a ton. So last night, as I talked about on the live stream, and news is covering today, Disney has come out to basically say, nope, we are not going to take Star Wars out of EA. We are happy with them. We suck at making video games, blah, 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 blah. So EA, though, however, says Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will come out this fall, while Titanfall team at Respawn focuses on Apex Legends. But we've got even more information going on there, and Colt is so excited. So EA said today that the next Star Wars game will be called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and will come out this fall. The company had previously set 2019 as the release window for a story-focused game, which is in development within the EA-owned studio and Titanfall creator Respawn Entertainment. Excuse me, Colt. But we haven't got anything more concrete until EA disclosed a fall deadline is in its quarterly earnings announcement this afternoon. Now, that was despite all this good news coming out for gamers, the market still reacted very poorly. Given the recent news that EA scrapped its narrative-focused Star Wars game under EA Vancouver Studio, it's good to hear that Fallen Order is on track for release later this year. Although it still is a remote possibility EA will decide to push the release date into 2020, I find that hard to believe. That said, EA Vancouver project is no longer in the works. Fans are looking to Respawn to deliver what they hope is a strong story-focused Star Wars game, given EA's focus in recent years on the Battlefront franchise. Yesterday, Respawn launched its newest game, Battle Royale shooter Apex Legends, according to according to The Quartering. The team responsible for that game is comprised almost entirely of the Titanfall crew, while Star Wars title is currently being developed with an entirely new division in Respawn that they hired specifically for this project. Now, I had been getting tips from people that were working on the soundtrack for this game, so that does seem to line up based on what they told me. The Titanfall team makes Apex Legends design director McKay McCandlish told VG247, a very one-handed number of people run Star Wars to help create that team. No, a very one-hand number of people run Star Wars to help create that team. Myself and a few others helped interview that team. Fallen Order is being led by Stig Osmundsson, who is the director of God of War 3, after Sony Santa Monica Studios' Cory Barlog, who returned to the game director on God of War Reboot, initially left the studio. The game's development is led by former director in the God of War series and a team of veterans from some of the industry's biggest action-adventure games. It's very far along in development. We've been spending time with it recently myself, and it plays spectacularly well, according to the CEO. Imagine that. He said in a prepared statement. Little known about Fallen Order other than it is a third-person single-player action game that is considered canon in the Star Wars universe. It will feature an unnamed Jedi character during events after Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. They also talked about, in the kind of these weird articles, cheer up Titanfall fans, it's not all doom and gloom, despite Respawn producer Drew McCoy telling Eurogamer Titanfall 3 is not in development. This isn't the end for the Titanfall franchise. A new game is set to release by the end of 2019. 2 Titanfall era games, or Titanfall-esque games in the same year, plus Star Wars, all coming out of the same studio. This does have me a little concerned. Now, the big names that they have on the from God of War, on Star Wars, makes me hopeful. The fact that it's third person makes me hopeful. The fact that it's canon makes me hopeful for the Star Wars game. But now, what's going on with the new Titanfall game? The news was initially teased by Respawn CEO Vince Zampella, who last night dropped the T word in a Twitter promise for more Titanfall content this year. It's worth noting his phrasing here, which hints it will be another, quote, experiment in the Titanfall universe. Tons of things planned for Plan Apex in the future. We're also committed to listening to player feedback. We're also working on more Titanfall for later in the year. Yes, I said the T word. We love being able to experiment in this crazy universe. Now, what does it mean? What will it be? I'm not sure. Thankfully, a little more light was shed on the situation by Andrew Wilson. The Respawn team has a strong plan for Apex Legends that will engage fans for a long time to come. As the live service evolves, Respawn also plans to launch a premium game this year that is a new twist on the Titanfall universe. More to come on that in the months ahead. Maybe it will be a cooperative game. While these comments, somewhat reassure Titanfall fans that their beloved franchise isn't being forgotten, it's unclear what the new game will be, other than it won't be free-to-play title like Apex Legends, and it's not a VR game. Since Apex Legends was announced, many players have expressed disappointment in the absence of a classic Titanfall features in the new game. The reason they remove, according to Respawn, is that wall running and mechs simply did not work in the Battle Royale format. Wall running has nothing to do with being in the Battle Royale format. I think it was about simplifying the game. I think I read some statements about that, which makes a little more sense. Mechs, I get it, mech on mech, but maybe it will be a play mode in Apex Legends at some point. I'm not sure. Meanwhile, our EA earnings call also reaffirmed that Respawn's commitment to the release Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order in autumn of 2019. It's very long in development and truly captures the fantasy of becoming a Jedi. Well, good news for Star Wars video game fans. I mean, Respawn has a very strong track record. I think they did an excellent job with Apex Legends, even though Battle Royale isn't exactly my cup of tea. The game itself looks great. Now, the concern to me is if you have great developers, can you have them all working on 3 separate games at essentially the same time between this new Titanfall game, the Star Wars game, and Apex Legends? That remains to be seen. I'm curious, though, what might you want to see in this new Star Wars game? I'm bummed that it's not the open world. However, if it's like an action RPG in the Star Wars universe where you level up and you get new skills and it looks great, feels great, controls great, it'll probably be a home run, providing the microtransactions aren't Battlefront 2 style garbage. Now, this new Titanfall game, I'm going to guess is probably, well, we know it's a AAA title, or we know it's not going to be free to play, but they say it's not Titanfall 3, so I'm not exactly sure what they're aiming for here. Will there be some assets used from Apex Legends to create this new Titanfall series? I'm not sure. Tip line is open, thequartering@gmail.com. If you know something about it and you feel like sharing it with me, I'll be happy to pass that along should it pass the initial smell test. So I guess in general, Even though Disney backed EA, which felt bad, I think getting this out of Respawn would be good, but I am nervous that Respawn basically has 3 huge releases in 1 year. That's a lot of stress, a lot of spreading out of talent, spread thin, but we'll have to see as we learn more about that. I felt like these are 2 happy tales for both the Titanfall fandom and the Star Wars fandom. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to crush that thumbs up button. I appreciate your support all greatly. Thank you so very much, and we'll talk to you again real soon.